Hey guys, how's it going? CryptHolm here. I'm actually in Papago Park in my backyard. Golf course is there, hiking trails over here. And the reason why I'm showing you guys Arizona is because Bitcoin actually is being voted on for potentially to become legal tender here. And Wendy Rogers, our senator, is the one that proposed the bill. And I am very excited to see if this were to happen. I would be so happy. I'd just double down on this decision to be like, okay, I'm gonna live here forever. But I want to talk about the viability of this bill, things that I'm looking forward to, and some things they should think about when this potentially becomes legal tender. So I'm going to put the bill on the screen right here. It's SB 1341. And I am skeptical if it will get passed or not. I think it's more of a situation where it's kind of showing, hey, like, look at what we're doing. It's kind of putting it on the radar of a lot of these congressional representatives. I think it's one of those things, though, where it's a little bit too soon, in my opinion. Of course, I want it to be rolled out like tomorrow or yesterday, but the reality is it needs to get a lot of buy-in from the Senate. It needs to get buy-in from the House of Representatives, the Fed, the IRS. There's a lot of people that need to be on board with this, and it's not going to just be something where it gets proposed, it gets passed, and then it becomes law. So, you know, again, I'm all for it, but I'd like to talk about the specific steps that need to be considered first. So in my opinion, it's more of symbolism than reality, because it's one of those things where it's showing, hey, we can do this. We can put forth legislation that will make Bitcoin legal tender, and it'll kind of be like one of those things where if Arizona were to adopt it, then Texas would, and then Florida, and then all the other states would come in because they don't want to be the last ones standing. All right, I'd like to cut to the chase here. What are the benefits of this? Well, it's going to draw in a lot of talent, a lot of innovation, a lot of companies that have large revenues and profits. It's going to really bring out a lot more innovation, in my opinion. It's going to get people on harder money. And if we're a state that can lead by example to Washington, D.C., Rhode Island, whatever state out there, that would be pretty cool. We don't want to be the laggard here. We want to be one of the first states to roll it out, and I think it's going to set the example. Look at how well the citizens of Arizona are doing. They're living on this hard money, and by living on this hard money, look at how well their lives are. And I think it will really be a cool thing to see, and it'll be kind of like setting an example to the rest of the country. So that's one of the things that I'm really looking for, is kind of setting the tone, kind of being the leader and driving the path forward and trailblazing into the brush. Guys, one of the things that I think will make it so this doesn't get passed is how ill-informed many of our politicians are. They're gonna hear Bitcoin and they're gonna think Silk Road. They're gonna think about the very basic things that you hear about from half a decade ago. I think that's one of the risks for this not getting passed, is the lack of education with the people who run this country. Another thing is people are going to point out, well, look at the volatility, you know, not everyone has access to a smartphone and all this stuff. But I think that's a load of baloney. I think anything that is good in life does require a little bit of volatility. It requires some risk. And I think, honestly, this is a risk worth taking, given that we have absolute scarcity. Bottom line is this: I hope this makes the state more crypto friendly and more favorable on this new innovative technology that we're working with and dealing with now. Because I can see a situation where, you know, Janet Yellen and these people in the IRS, they kind of like clamp down on crypto, which we already know they're trying to do with the Build Back Better plan, Build Back Better bill. And it's just like one of those things where it's like, no, like, look at how well it's working in certain areas. In El Salvador, there's a large population that can access financial services. And I just think it's something that we really need to adopt, because if we don't, then everywhere else in the world's gonna adopt it, and then we're gonna be last. Like, we don't wanna be the Blockbuster or the Sears or the Toys R Us, you know, of the world. We wanna be the Amazon, we want to be the Google, we want to be the early adopters, the early players in this space. And to do that, we need to pass legislation like this that is forward thinking. Nayib Bukele did a great example to the world that sometimes you got to take a risk. Is there volatility? Yes, there is. But, you know, it's one of those things where if you don't take a risk, nothing's going to come out. There's going to be no upside. You're just going to maintain the status quo forever and ever. And I really would like Arizona to have to be able to adopt this, honestly. I really would love that. That would be absolutely incredible. I go to my favorite restaurants, bars, golf clubs, and I would pay in Satoshis. And I think it'd be pretty cool. And I mean, this place is already popping with tourism, guys. I mean, the parking lot over there is absolutely full. And there's like so many people lined up to go to the zoo over there. And just so many people love coming here. But it'll bring more people here. It will drive more talent. And it'll really, in my opinion, it'll be one of the world stages for crypto and Bitcoin if it does become legal tender here. So just something that I'd like everyone to think about. What would happen if Bitcoin was legal tender here in Arizona? That would be pretty cool. I'm sure you guys would like it too. Sometimes we just kind of buy it and hold it and trade it, but to actually use it, that's a whole nother experience, guys. And it helps actually increase, if, you know, for those of you who believe hyper Bitcoinization will occur, it actually increases the likeliness of that happening because we're spending Satoshis, we're giving Satoshis, and with that, it will help increase the adoption significantly amongst more people. They're gonna use it. We're not just trading it, we're actually using the technology, we're using the money, and we're interacting with it with other people. So my call to action is this: reach out to your senators, reach out to your elected officials and tell them, hey, look at what Arizona is doing. Can we do this with our state too? And the cool thing is this: we're at the very beginning. It feels like it's so late. You look at the price and you're like, wow, like it's $38,000. Like that's the cost of like an Acura TL or like a BMW 3 Series. Like that's expensive for a Bitcoin. But if you look to see the total market cap and the total addressable market, we still have a long ways to go. If this does get passed, I will make it my life's mission to acquire as much Bitcoin as I possibly can. It'll kind of like make it a reality for me. I mean, I'm already going heavy into it, but I want to see in the United States places adopt it. I don't want to only have to go to foreign countries to be able to use it. But the thing is this too: I think they should make it just like they did in El Salvador. You can accept in Bitcoin or you can accept in dollars. Just making it so you can only accept Bitcoin. We saw how that turned out, and some people, they simply don't want to touch it. So if it was to be the fact where you have to accept Bitcoin, you should be instant convertibility into dollars. All right, everyone, that's all I have for you today. I really enjoyed putting this together. You guys made it so I can leave my place today. I'm just chilling here. I'm gonna go for a little hike up the mountain there. But I just wanted to let you know, continue to follow up with elected officials. Tell them how important this is, because we want sound money. We want innovative payment technologies. It's really gonna change the world. Be sure to comment, rate, subscribe if you liked it. I'll see you guys in the next one.